Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and I am back with the boys for week 14. And guess what, people? We have a new leader at the top, and he's the guy to my left wearing the Edmonton Oilers captain shirt. Gil Santos now has a 1-game lead over myself and a 2-game lead over Jose. As I said last week, Jose would turn into the Leafs, and that's what happened. It was 3-1, it was 12 games, and now he's in last. But he's still not out of it, so we'll give him a chance. But Gil has the lead right now after an 11-3 week, followed by 10-4 for myself, with Jose being at 8-6. We'll go through the games, and we'll make our picks for this week, and we'll have our commentary on the games, because believe me, I got some commentary on these games last week, and I'm sure Gil and Jose will have plenty to say. So let's start with the Thursday nighter. The absolutely awful Pittsburgh Steelers with a decaying quarterback who should be put out to pasture, named Small Ben Roethlisberger, goes to Minnesota to play an equally inept quarterback who gave the Lions their first victory last week in Kirk CousINTs. Good luck picking this game, but because Gil, I know who Gil's going to take, so I'm just going to go to Jose because he actually thinks Kirk CousINTs is good. So, Jose, who do you like in this game on Thursday night?
I like Pittsburgh in this one. I think their defense is better than Minnesota's, so I'm taking Pittsburgh.
How embarrassing was that, Jose, to see Detroit win on the last play of the game?
It was shitty defense. It was a dumb fucking. I don't know. Understand why they gave him so much space.
No, it was a pick
catch
play.
The ball.
It was a pick play where they run one guy through and then the guy stops.
There was 3 guys. There was 2 cornerbacks and the safety there around the area, and they still let the guy wide open.
And they were down what 10-0, 13-0 early, something like that.
Yeah, and they came back. Yeah.
Gil, who do you like, and what do you think of that game? Giving Detroit their first win. Me and you should have known, eh? We called Kirk. If they're gonna get a win, it's gonna be against Kirk CousINTs. We should have picked it, but what do you think, Gil?
Oh, I was feeling Detroit winning one game sooner or later. I didn't pick this one, but I hate both of them. I'm a Packers fan, so I obviously don't like Detroit or Minnesota. But I'm going to agree with Jose. I'm going to take the Steelers on this one because I just feel like they have a better defense in Minnesota. Kirk CousINTs is Kurt interceptions, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Well, despite what I've said about Kirk CousINTs, I believe that Minnesota is going to get some of their players back this week. I think Cook's coming back. They're getting some other players back that were injured. I don't believe in Kirk CousINTs at all, especially in prime time, but I believe even less in the Steelers. Big Ben is done as a quarterback. He can't move. Very inaccurate with the ball. The offense is sputtering. Their defense is
the Ravens last week.
Their defense is decent. The Ravens blew the game last week. They had a chance to tie the game with the best kicker in football, and the dumbass coach went for 2. So the Ravens had a chance to win, but were screwed by their coach. And so Pittsburgh stole one last week. Lamar Jackson is not playing well right now. He hasn't been for a few weeks now, and it's because he can't throw the ball out of the pocket, and he's becoming a little more predictable. So I'll go with Minnesota in this one, just because I hate Ben Roethlisberger more than I hate Kirk CousINTs right now. And that's the only reason why. To the rivalry game of the week. Now, see, we're in Canada here, so I only know this based on watching TV, but apparently this and the game we're going to talk about later with Gil Santos and his team are 2 of the biggest rivalries in football. We have the Washington football team at home to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, Gil, we can't do the Timber this week, but we could do it after this game. Gil, are you going with the Cowboys or with my boy, Taylor Heinicke?
I'm going with the boys. Going with the boys. At the end of the day, Washington is still the Washington football team.
Didn't look like it last week.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I watch that Heinicke guy, I don't know. I can't take that. It just doesn't look right.
No, it doesn't look right.
Doesn't look
like a
right.
college quarterback.
Yeah, I'm going. Dallas is gonna get back on all cylinders. You know, they're getting their plays. You know, they've been on and on. When they're hot, they're hot. and they're getting hot. They went on a little cold timber, but they're getting there again. They're gonna make the playoffs. We can tell already. So
Yeah.
they gotta, Washington's trying to squeeze into a wild card. We'll see how that goes. They have Atlanta. They have a lot of teams. They have Minnesota in the mix. It's gonna for the last 2 seeds. It's gonna be, but I'm gonna go with Dallas. I don't really see Washington keeping up with Dallas.
Jose, what do you like in this one?
I like the Dallas in this one. I think they have more offensive firepower, and they get all the right receivers back this week. And so I like Dallas in this. But Washington's been playing well lately, and their defense is stepping up too. So it should be a close game. Come down to it.
I am gonna go to the wall and stick with my boy Happy Heinicke. And if he wins this game, I'm gonna have a Heineken on his behalf. And does anyone want to bet me one Heineken that he wins the game so I can have a Heineken after he wins?
Well, all I know is I bet Jose last week and I won, right?
Right. A Heinicke for Heineken. That's okay. I'm just gonna take Washington. Rivalry game, division game at home. Washington defense playing much better. And this is the kind of game that the Cowboys lose to make everybody sweat. They never pull away in the division. They always make it interesting at the end. This is the kind of game they lose. Washington beat the Raiders. The Raiders beat Dallas. Therefore, Washington beats Dallas. I got the football team winning this one. We're not going to waste too much time on this one. Jacksonville, Tennessee, guys. What do you like in this one?
Tennessee.
Jose?
Tennessee.
Titans. We all got the Titans there. The Jags are the worst team in football. I even think they're worse than Detroit. Believe it or not, I think they're worse than Detroit. To the Seabags. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail until I get to the team later that we're going to talk about. But the Seabags embarrassed a certain team I'm going to talk about later. But they're playing at Houston with Gil's boy Tyrod Taylor. Gil, are you going with Tyrod Taylor this week?
Hell no.
You're not going with Tyrod, your boy?
No.
All right, so Gil's got Seattle. Jose, who do you got in this one?
I got Seattle too. They squeaked out one last week against the Niners, but it's okay.
I got the Seabags, and I'll explain why later. But really, they're playing Houston. They should beat Houston. Both teams kind of suck this year, but Seattle should win this game if they can go into our place and beat our team. But I'll get to that later. The Las Vegas Raiders, who very happily lost at home to the Washington football team for me last week, go to Kansas City to play the Red Hot Chiefs. I don't think this is going to be a hard one to pick either. Jose, who do you got in this one?
Easy.
Gil?
The Hot Chiefs.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. It's going to be them in New England for the first seed. And that was made very clear on Monday and on Sunday. And we'll get to what happened later on Monday. Two of the ugliest teams in football playing each other right now. New Orleans, who doesn't have a quarterback or a running back right now, or a wide receiver. I don't know what they have left in New Orleans. They're going to play Jose's boy Saleh in New York to take on the Jets, who just got destroyed by Gil. Is his name Minshew? Minshew Mania beat him last week, right? So, Gil, who do you like in this ugly game?
I'm taking the Jet. Jets.
All right, taking the Jets.
They're at home. New Orleans looks disorganized. Like you said, no, they don't even know who's QB. They don't know who's the running back. They still have good defense though.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Jets now are just playing loose, and I think they'll come up with a win.
Jose?
I like the Saints in this one. They're supposedly supposed to get Kamara back this week, and he's gonna help them out. And I think, Taysom Hill played well last week too. They did lose the game, but he gives them a better option, run option, and pass options. So I like New Orleans in this one.
I disagree. I'll take the Jets. If you watched that game last week with New Orleans, Taysom Hill was brutal. He was absolutely awful in that game. He couldn't throw a pass. He could only run the ball. He was really, really bad playing the quarterback position. He got his finger hurt just before the half. They kept him in the game despite having Simeon on the bench. I don't think John Payton knows what he's doing with his offense right now. And the Jets have 2 big wins at home this year against Cincinnati and Tennessee. So I'll take the Jets to upset, if you want to call it that, in this one. To Atlanta, Matt Ryan against Cam Newton in Carolina, the 2 old dogs facing each other. I have no idea what to expect in this game, nor do I know who to pick. Flip a coin. Gil, heads or tails? Who do you got?
I like Atlanta's push. I'm going to take Atlanta. I think Atlanta looks a little bit better than Carolina offensively right now.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not defensively, but I'm going to give Matt Ryan the edge here on this one. But like you said, it's a coin toss. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Carolina wins either, but I have my gut feelings going to Atlanta.
Jose?
I like Carolina in this one. I just think the defense is better than Atlanta's, and I think Cam Newton will come back and regroup after the last week's loss, and they'll win this one at home.
Carolina's defense is better. Atlanta's defense is not good. Cam Newton is an awful quarterback who's done. I almost hope they start PJ Walker in this one because they might actually be better with him. But I'll take Carolina just because they have the better defense and they're at home. But I have no confidence in who's winning this game whatsoever. Carolina did beat them in Atlanta, so I'll take them to win at home against Atlanta. To a game that has 2 of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL the last 4 weeks of this season. We're talking about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens going to Cleveland to take on Baker Mayfield and the Browns coming off the bye week. This is a back-to-back matchup off the bye week, at least for Cleveland. My Super Bowl pick looks awful because their quarterback has not played well and has been hurt all season. And Baltimore looks even worse right now because Lamar Jackson can't throw out of the pocket. So who do we have here? Jose.
I'm taking Baltimore in this one. I think that the run game will come up big up in this one. I know that Lamar Jackson has been struggling with his passing lately, but there's been a lot of drop passes and stuff, and that was a catchable ball that he threw to win the game last week, and Andrews didn't come up big with it. I just think their defense is solid. They're like the best run defense, and that's what the Browns do best is run the ball. And I think they'll stop the run, and I think the Baltimore Ravens will win this one.
Gil.
Oh, another tricky game for me. Jose, all I think I can think about this game is when I see Baltimore, Cleveland, all it reminds me of that game we went to watch. And I see Nick Chubb's run all over their baskets. So I'm going to go with Cleveland.
Yeah, I actually disagree with Jose. I thought Lamar Jackson's 2-point pass was off, and that's why the ball was dropped by Andrews. He rushed it because they put the rush on him, and he tried to duck a player and threw it away from Andrews. They had the right play called, but it was just rushed by Jackson. But Lamar Jackson is struggling. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Baltimore has been surviving offensively. I think that Cleveland off a bye, maybe a couple of weeks of extra rest for Baker. He usually has success against this team, although they've got a lot of injuries on offense. I just think that Baltimore has too many injuries. They lost their top cornerback last week. I think that's one of the reasons why the coach decided to go for it instead of go to overtime. And I just think at home, Cleveland's going to win this game defensively, but it's going to be low scoring and it's going to be ugly. I think Cleveland's going to run the ball a lot, and I think they'll have enough to beat Baltimore. I don't like what I'm seeing from Lamar Jackson, so I'll take Cleveland.
In his defense, he has really no wide receivers to help him either.
No, No.
He only has Marquise Brown, and he's still not like great.
Yeah, neither team has offensive weapons at this point. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess Cleveland has the run game, but they got no offensive weapons either, and Baker's certainly not throwing them open. So I'll just stay Cleveland at home, thinking their defense will be better than Baltimore's. But again, I have no idea who's going to win the game. This is a swing week, guys. These are some tough games here. To a game that I think will be very easy to pick. The G-men go to LA to take on the Chargers. I don't think there's any doubt who anyone's taking here, so I'll start with Gil.
I'm going with the shitty Chargers.
Got to go with the shitty Chargers at some point. They pulled through after almost choking. I know Gil last week, he was getting all excited when it was 24-0. Then it was 24-22, and I can hear him singing the song at his house. And then, of course, Joe Mixon fumbles, and the whole game turns, and the Chargers win.
Well, they should have fucking lost that game. Fucking Jamar Chase fumble, like he gets an interception. The guy has a catch for a touchdown, and all of a sudden he juggles the ball and it goes backwards to the defender.
That was the weirdest play I've seen all year. Crazy.
And then Joe Mixon, they're driving.
Drops it. Just drops the ball.
Just drops the ball. Like
crazy.
That was fucking pathetic.
Yeah, crazy.
I like LA Chargers in this one too.
I got the Chargers. The Giants, I don't even know who's starting for them right now because I think Glennon's got a concussion, so I don't even sure they're gonna have a quarterback this week. I got the Chargers. The Detroit Lions, who got their first win against, of course, Kirk Cousins. They last play of the game, somehow they beat Kirk Cousins. I'm not saying it's Kirk Cousins' fault because the Minnesota defense has struggled this year, but it had to be him. It had to be him losing to Detroit.
How did Brian feel about that one?
Oh, he the funny thing is I messaged him before when Minnesota scored. I messaged him. He said they're going to score on the last play. I swear to God, Brian actually said they're going to score on the last play of the game, and they did. So he kind of predicted Detroit was going to win. So there you go. You didn't believe too much in his team there. They're going to Denver to take on the Broncos. I don't think this is a hard game to predict either, but I'll start with Jose.
I like Denver in this one. I just playing at home, and they should come up with this for the victory at home.
Gil?
Yeah, I think the win was all Detroit needed to get that monkey off their back. The pressure's off of staying with the big zero. I just think this one they're just gonna go in. I'm gonna ride the white horse, the Bronco. Yeah. It's a mile high.
Yeah.
I think Detroit's not used to high altitudes.
Yep.
I heard it's one of the worst places to catch your breath.
Yep.
Is there?
It is. Yep.
So I'm gonna take Denver.
Yeah, Denver could still make the playoffs. Big game for them. I got the Broncos. To the game that I've been waiting to talk about, and it's not even the game that I'm gonna just talk about yet as far as a pick. And Jose, as you can see his hat, he's trying to hide it right now, which he should. The San Francisco 49ers, who embarrassed themselves last week against the rival, getting shut out in the second half by the Seabags because we have an embarrassment of a quarterback named Jimmy Garoppolo, who, when he doesn't have a running game, can't do anything on offense, is going to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. I got the Bengals because Jimmy G is garbage, and I can't wait until he's gone. Gil, before I get to Jose when he retorts to me after that embarrassment of a showing last week in the second half, who do you got?
Well, for once, I agree with you. Like, that was horrible.
Just an embarrassment. 2 turnovers, and then just no points in the second half. Just an embarrassment.
That second half was very disappointing for the Niners, but you got to have to, as a Niner team, you got to bounce out of it, right? But because Cincinnati lost, the Niners only have that run game. I don't know. It's gonna be a close game.
They have Kittle in the run game. That's it. That's all.
I'm gonna go to home team. I'm gonna go to the Bengals.
Jose, your thoughts?
My thoughts are simple. It's he struggled last in the second half. Like I said, he's like one of the most inconsistent quarterbacks in the NFL.
Frustrating.
It is frustrating, and he plays like in the first half he was playing amazing. Second half he did fuck alls. I just think that Seattle played a good defensive game. They put like 7 guys in the box.
It's
and
like
made
they
him
know
throw
how to
the
play
ball.
against them, right?
Well, and they own the Niners. It's like the Niners own the Rams and they own the Niners. Like since Russell Wilson's been there, there's been 16-4 against the
I
Niners.
know, it's crazy.
So
It's crazy.
it's like one of those teams that you can't beat and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I see them regrouping this week, and Fred Warner's coming back from injury, so that's a big piece. And I think they will regroup and they'll win this game against Cincinnati and get back in the playoff race.
This is a huge game for both teams. And I said this to Jose. I don't know if I said it to Jose or Gil, and I got a good laugh out of them. Does anyone want to win the AFC North? It's like every team doesn't want to win it. It's like they find ways to lose games. They find ways to choke games. Like nobody wants to win that division. It's weird. Baltimore chokes it away last week. Cleveland, when they're supposed to win, doesn't win. Cincinnati, again, Gil called it. He said the minute Cincinnati's supposed to be good, they choke. What happens?
Well, that was the turnovers last week.
I know, but that's what happens, right? Lamar Jackson, 4 picks. Cincinnati turns it over. Pittsburgh allows 40 in a game to Cincy. Like nobody wants to win this division. It's messed up, that division right now.
It is.
It's an unpredictable division.
To my game of the week, and to a game that will be the easiest game I predict this week. Awful Josh Allen, who embarrassed himself against New England. I tried to tell you people, he's going to win both games. He's going to win in Buffalo and in New England. Now, I know I'm going to hear about the wind. The only thing the wind was a guarantee for was an under, which was easy money, by the way. Okay. Everybody knew Bill Belichick was going to run the ball 50 including the Bills. And they still got away with it, and still only got away with having their quarterback throw the ball 3 times. Now, everyone who thinks it's the wind, guess why Buffalo drafted Josh Allen? Because of the high winds in Buffalo, and because he's 6'6" and can throw the ball through the wind. Well, guess what? 15 out of 30 ain't getting it done, and 1 for 4 in the red zone ain't getting it done either. And missing throws too. Missing easy throws. In the last play of the game, he had Beasley wide open, missed him. Didn't see him. Could have won the game. Now, did Stephon Diggs drop a ball, a big, huge, long bomb from him? Yes, I'll give him that. But in the last few minutes of the game, Josh Allen has proven to not win the game when it's needed at the end. He's not going to be the MVP, and Bill Belichick put on a show last week. As much as I don't even like Bill Belichick, he put on a show last week, and he made that coach in Buffalo look stupid. So, in case you're wondering, now he has to go to Tampa Bay to pay the GOAT. Good luck, Josh. You're not winning there. I got the Bucks. Jose, who do you got?
He made good points. But the kryptonite for the Buccaneers is the pass game. And I see Buffalo coming up and upsetting them this week.
Wow.
And coming back in the playoff race. So I got Buffalo this against Tampa Bay this week.
Wow. Gil, Jose's sticking with Allen. Who do you got?
You know what? Like what Jose's talking about, I kind of have that gut feeling too. For some reason, I don't know. I feel like Buffalo's going to win. But
they can't run the ball, Buffalo. That's the problem with you. They can't run
the ball. They can throw the ball.
Yeah,
they can throw the ball.
Yeah.
And what's the kryptonite of the fucking the Tampa Bay defense? It's their pass game. They have nobody to cover.
Well, Indianapolis tried that, and look what happened. So I don't know if that's necessarily the answer.
I don't know. We'll see. That's big. I rather have Allen throwing the ball than Wentz. That's for sure. But anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, now my question now is: Can Buffalo
stop Tampa Bay?
Brady?
Right.
That's the problem there.
Right.
It's in Tampa. Tampa's still fighting with Arizona and Green Bay for the top spots there. So they're at home. Buffalo played bad, but Buffalo does need his win as well to keep up. But
Buffalo hasn't beat anybody, Gil. Look at their schedule. Who have they beaten this year? They beat Kansas City when they were struggling. That's it. That's their only good win all season.
Yeah, but I'm gonna take Tampa.
Tampa Bay? Okay, you got Tampa Bay. Now I'm gonna get to the game that Gil is gonna talk about for a bit. It's the I own you game, Gil. Can you say it with me? I own you.
I own you.
As Aaron Rodgers goes and plays the team that he just laughs at. He says, I own you. He waves to the fans and says, you got nothing on me. He puts the belt. He does the belt to the fan. He just rubs it in. I can't remember the last time he lost to the Bears. Actually, it's got to be like 5, 6, 7 years he hasn't lost to them. He's at home to play the Bears, who finally came to their senses. I don't know if Jose has, but they came to their senses and said, we're going back to Fields because Andy Dalton's a disaster. But somehow Jose still picked Andy Dalton last week against the Cards. But they're going back to Fields, who had a little bit of success against Green Bay's defense, very little, but only running the ball, not passing. Gil, I'm not even going to ask you because I already know who you got. Jose, who do you got?
Green Bay.
Yeah, I got the Packers. They can't win. They can't beat Chicago. Gil, what do you think of this game? Is it going to be a beating? Is it going to be close?
Chicago's stand a chance. They have no momentum.
No.
Fields.
Does he help them at all, or
he helps them? But the Green Bay defense has been playing phenomenal.
They have been playing good. Yes.
The past 5 weeks, Green Bay has been one of the best defenses in the league, actually.
Yes,
which is
that's
surprising to me, but
yeah, that's true.
They're very well, and they're supposed to get Smith back. They've been playing without Smith. They've been playing without Alexander, the best corners in the league. You know, Smith, Bakhtiari supposed to come back.
Yeah.
So like that, and look at Green Bay without those guys.
Yeah.
Right. So when those guys kick in, and that's on their defense.
Yeah.
So when those guys kick in, watch out. Green Bay will be good in the play. Like I think they'll make a good run in the playoffs if they're healthy on defense.
Yeah. The Green Bay defense is what's got me convinced that they're better this year. So I'll take Green Bay. But it's all about the playoffs for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Just stay healthy. If Bakhtiari comes back, then the Bears are in real trouble because then they can't rush him either. So we all got the Bears.
This one's an easy one. Chicago doesn't stand a chance, and Rodgers steals the belt. We'll still own the belt with IOU Chicago. So.
Yeah, so he's gonna worry about this game. But now we go to the second biggest game of the week, a game that for me is not hard, but for other people who are big fans of Matt Stafford might be hard. But Matthew Stafford, who, as I've said before, is 9-72 against winning teams, goes to Arizona to play the Cards, who absolutely destroyed this man in week 2 or week 3. I can't remember what it was in LA. He goes to play Mr. Kyler Murray, the MVP candidate from Arizona. Big game, probably for the division. The winner's gonna get the division, or the winner's gonna get closer. Jose, who do you got in this one?
This one's a toss-up, but I think I gotta go with the Rams in this one. I just think that they need this game more than the Cards do. So and I think defensively I know they played the shitty Jaguars last week, but they looked better, and the new players are starting to gel in a little bit better. So I like the Rams in this one. And last week our Cardinals won by big against the Bears, but the Bears had a lot of they moved the ball a lot on the Arizona defense, and they were always in their offensive zone. So it's not like that the Cardinals played an amazing game, and there was a couple of turnovers. Komet dropped the ball, it was right in his stomach, and it popped up and it ran right back to Buda Baker, and he intercepted and he brought it back. So I just see the Rams moving the ball on them and winning this game.
Gil?
I agree with Jose. It's a toss-up only because I'm thinking the Rams defense sooner or later is going to be like a great defense. They're just still trying to figure each other out. They have Ramsey, they have Miller. In my situation, I'm going to go with, I don't know who's going to win this game. I'm going to go with, what's tossing me here is, as a Packer fan, I want the Rams to win. I need to see Arizona lose so we can keep that first seed. So I'm going based off that. I'm going to make my pick with the Rams. Just based off, I need to see Arizona.
Yeah, the Rams, I'm completely ignoring the game they played last week because they played the Jaguars, who are the worst team in football. I'm not even counting that game. I'm looking at all the games they played before that against
Well,
good teams.
Arizona played Chicago. Chicago
I
can't
know
score
that.
either.
I know that. But I've got two reasons why I'm taking Arizona. One, last week they were rusty because Murray'd been out for a while. So I wasn't surprised they had a little rust on offense. Still wasn't enough to lose to the Bears because Andy Dalton's terrible. But I look at the Rams and how they've played. They're been struggling mightily against good teams, as Matt Stafford tends to do. Arizona destroyed this team in LA, and I don't expect it to be any different this time around. I got the Cards because Matthew Stafford struggles in these games, and I don't expect it to be any different on Monday night. Any thoughts from Jose or Gil about last week's games before we get into our best bets of the week?
To me, I think the NFC North, that's like one of the best. It might be like one of the best freaking divisions. When they play each other, those guys play to kill each other, man. The hits that these guys lay on each other and stuff.
AFC North, right?
AFC North,
yes,
yeah, sorry.
The AFC North, yes.
But those guys, it's like they want to kill each other every single game, man. Like you see them, it's dangerous.
It's
man.
A war every game. Yeah,
it's a war, man, every game. But and just talking back on my team, like for example, like it was a tough loss, man. And you have a drive at the end of the game to tie up the game, and you don't get in. You have 4 downs to get in there, and you like just fucking rush the ball. Like I don't understand why didn't you start throwing the ball and shit like that. Sometimes you blame it on Jimmy G, but then sometimes Kyle Shanahan makes some stupid stuff, decides some stupid plays when he like should stick to the motto is just run the ball.
Yeah, but teams know what's coming though, right? Because they know Jimmy G is limited at quarterback, so teams know what's coming, especially Seattle, who always knows it's coming, and that's how you get shutouts in the second half.
There's different ways of running the ball. Like okay, they're swing the ball out or play action or whatever or run pass option. Like there's different ways. Everybody knew like so many times that the Niners were gonna run the ball against Green Bay or like in the playoffs a couple of years ago, whatever, and everybody knew they were going to run the ball, and they still did it, right?
Yeah.
It depends, man. Like it sometimes. What the problem is with Kyle Shanahan, he's very like if he thinks that the defense is going to play the run, he starts throwing the ball. Like just stick to what you're good at. Just fucking run the ball, and that's it. Even if you don't get a lot of yards, whatever, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. Stick
to your game plan.
Yeah.
But I think, and then I also want to give a shout out to my boy Ivan. He's a Miami fan, so he works with me, and he's like busting my chops because of Miami and stuff like that.
Hey, our lock of the week came in. Our lock of the week, we all took them. They came in.
And they smashed. So a shout out to my boy Ivan.
Yeah. So we all came in with our lock of the week and our survivor. The Dolphins made us sweat a little bit, but they got it done 20-9. Gil, any thoughts on last week's games or this week's games?
Well, to me, last week, for me, the highs was, you're still looking at KC, all of a sudden rolling in.
Their offense is struggling, though, Gil.
But they're looking like they were bad.
But their defense is playing much better now.
Yes. Like the offense is struggling, though.
There was a point in the season, I was even like, I didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
Like it looked like they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, like a high is, a low with that 49 game for me was a huge low of the week.
It was ugly, man.
Like that second half was bad.
It was so painful to watch that second half, Gil. Like you have no idea. So painful.
Yeah. And congratulations to Detroit on their first win. Right? They got it out.
How about my boy Heinicke? What were you impressed with him?
Yeah, they were lucky to beat the Raiders. Honest truth,
a pass interference call should have happened in that game. I think it was Carr threw a ball up.
Yeah,
the guy's grabbing his jersey. I don't know what the refs
at the end of the
thinking.
game.
Yeah,
that's a pass interference, and they would have kicked a field goal to win the game.
I don't know what they were thinking.
It's fucking horrible, man. Like it's unbelievable. Sometimes it's just the way
refing
it is.
Bad, not just for your team, but across the league. The refing's horrible in the NFL. Like it's just bad.
Like at these, like and some of these holding, like
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like
Phantom
this,
calls. Yeah.
yeah, it's just pathetic. Sometimes these referees make these stupid calls. And, like I don't even understand, man.
Yeah, and they changed
But
the results of the games.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
what else?
Well, and this week, you'll have a couple of fun games to watch. The Dallas and your Heineckes is one. You got
Buffalo, Tampa. That's going to be a barn
Buffalo,
burner.
Tampa.
Yeah.
Even the Niners and the Bengals. I'm curious to see how 49ers react.
As am I. Yeah.
Then you have the Rams, Arizona. That's be a fun one to watch too. So we have some pretty good games to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So that's our thoughts. Now we're gonna give you. We've got a couple of minutes left. We're gonna give you our locks of the week. I guess I'll start with mine. I got Kansas City winning by 9.5 over the Vegas Raiders. That's my best bet of the week. I'll go with Kansas City as my survivor, as I haven't used them this year. Gil, who do you got?
I got the Jets +5. And I also have the Jets as for the upset to win.
Wow. Okay. There wouldn't be your survivor, though.
No, well, yeah, they're my upset, but also for the survivor, it would be, where is it? I'm going with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, Green Bay is a good survivor. I used them earlier this year. Jose, who do you got?
For my survivor, I'm taking Seattle. And for my spread, I'm taking Buffalo +3.
Buffalo +3 at Tampa Bay. Okay, guys. Well, that's our thoughts on this week's games. We got a couple of barn burners, a couple of ugly bowls, but this could be a swing week type of week because there are very difficult games to go back and forth and pick. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if Jose makes a comeback, or if he's literally turned into the Leafs. We'll see if Gil can hang on, or if he turns into Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. And we'll see if I can make a comeback like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. But until next week, we'll see what happens, because it was 28-3 for the Falcons. I was down and out, and now the game is tied and we're going to OT, and here I come. So we'll see if I turn into GOATom. But until next week, I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese. That's Jose Gomes down there, still wearing the 49ers hat, as am I, although I'm very, very
100%,
angry,
buddy.
very angry and sad about
win or
my
lose,
team.
that's my team,
All right?
man.
And Gil wearing a weird Edmonton Oilers jersey when he's a Devils fan and a Green Bay fan. That's a little weird, but we'll give him a pass.
I like McDavid, that's why.
Yeah. We will see you next week on the Reese Report.